Hey team, happy December. I am so excited for all that is coming. We are ending 2022 and headed into a new year. It has just been an absolute joy and privilege to lead you team as we learn and we grow together, as we serve others with joy, offering hope for health, offering hope for financial freedom. And so just wanted to say thank you for trusting me as your leader, for just really working so hard to develop your skills and grow your business, and to be teachable and to be coachable and learn alongside of us. So wanted to share a few thoughts with you going into this new month, going into the closure of a year and heading into a brand new year. So really wanting to talk about what truly drives our results in our business. And so it is dependent upon two things. And many of you probably already know what I'm about to say, but it depends upon mindset and it depends upon skill set. Those are the two major structures that formulate our business, and that yields the results in our business. So if a skill set is out of balance and isn't strong, but our mindset is super strong, guess what? We still aren't going to have a stable business. If we have a super strong skill set as far as knowing the 4 pillars and having our system solid, but our mindset is poor, we still have a very unstable business. And so I want to break this down a little bit for us, because this is what truly is going to move our businesses forward, excuse me, is really taking the time to pay attention, to hone in on and analyze our businesses and ourselves. So let's talk about skill set first. Okay, so skill set, we know, is the 4 pillars. We have recruiting, we have retention, we have duplication, and we have leadership. All right, so I want to challenge each of you leaders to take ownership and really look into yourself, look into your personal business, but then also look into your team. Okay, so get us a blank piece of paper, and after we are done with this video, I would love for you to take the time, really carve it out, to sit down, open up your back office, analyze your recruiting in the last 3 to 6 months, analyze your retention in the last 3 to 6 months. Analyze your duplication in the last 3 to 6 months. And is that duplication being duplicated down? Okay, do you have leaders who are also duplicating? And then the same with leadership. Are you growing yourself as a leader? Are you showing up in front of your team? Are you creating content for your leaders as you are learning and growing? Are you passing that on to your team and taking ownership of your team? Okay, these are all things to just really think about and to analyze. So what this requires is us being self-aware, being willing to analyze, be honest, and then to become self-aware so that we can pinpoint what exactly it is that is holding our business back. And if it's just one thing, then we can hone in on that and we can strengthen that skill set. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about is mindset, right? So we have our skill sets and we're working to strengthen those. Well, if we have a poor negative mindset, nothing is still going to move forward, right? Nothing's going to yield results. And I'm going to explain why. So network marketing is known to bring exposure. And I mean exposure to our own selves, okay? So as we are stepping out and we are cold messaging, or we are posting vulnerable things on social media to build rapport, to add value to others, there is an exposure that happens. It's not a bad exposure, but it is an exposure to what I'm really thinking and feeling, or how I feel that I'm being perceived by others, or I really struggle with being rejected when people don't respond to my messages. It reveals an inner exposure. Okay, and so ask a few questions regarding mindset. Question number 1, do you struggle with belief in yourself? If you are struggling with how you view yourself, this fear is projected onto others around you. So what that may look like is you are wanting to share plexus with others, and you just don't have a strong belief in yourself. And so if you don't have a strong posture, if you don't have a confidence, if you don't have a know-how of how to carry yourself, and you're struggling with a belief about your own personal self, then that's going to be projected, and people are going to sense that, and they're not going to join you, okay? Same with the business. If you struggle with belief in yourself in the business, if you lack a leadership or a confidence or a poise, and you're thinking negative thoughts about yourself as a leader, that's going to be projected to those that you're talking to about the business. So ladies and gentlemen, this right here could be the very thing that is holding you back in growing your business. If there is a doubt in yourself and your belief in yourself. Now, there's a few other things that we could talk about. How is your belief in the products? Is it solid? Is it 100%? If not, go build that belief. There are so many trainings, so much information, ingredients, resources, gut health and happiness. We have so much at our fingertips. You have to take the action to go build that belief. That's not up to me as your leader. That's not up to anyone else, okay? And then, are you struggling in your belief in the industry? I struggled with my belief in network marketing as a pastor's wife. And what it took was me buying books and reading. GoPro. There's another one. I'm trying to think of what it's called. Can't remember off the top of my head, but I can let you know if you want to know. But building my belief in network marketing and why it is, a solid, structured plan, and why I can partner with network marketing, because I had to debunk how I was perceiving it and understanding it to what it truly was. And then I had to look into Plexus as a company and who they were. And are they working a solid structure business plan? Yes, absolutely they are. Are they doing it ethically? Yes, absolutely they are. These are things that I had to go dig and research to know that I can stand with this company and with these products, okay? It's not something that's just going to happen. And so it will translate and be projected onto others around you. Okay, so I want to encourage you to address these issues. Sit down. Ask yourself, do I struggle with belief in myself? Write your answer. Yes. What does that point to? What is that based off of? Is there a circumstance that I keep going back to, that I keep playing through my head? Ask me how I know, okay? So be honest with yourself, and then once we can pinpoint these doubts or these beliefs or this negativity, then the change can happen, okay? All right, another question. Are you overly concerned of how you are perceived? This was a really big one for me. I still struggle with it. How I'm being perceived. And then I tell that narrative in my head, like, this is how I'm being perceived. Like, people think that I'm being this, or this. And so you have to know, like, this is a fear that I have, and this is the narrative that I'm telling myself, and so you have to address it. And this is something that we have to work at, consistently work at. We have to catch the thought, we have to stop it, and we have to say, like, replace that thought with something else, okay? So we have to think through what the negative chatter is that we are telling ourselves, okay? It could be something like, they'll never buy from me. Nobody will ever buy from me. That's a doubt and belief in yourself. Maybe it could be, everyone thinks it's just too expensive. I told myself that when I first started. And so I had to work through that. I've never succeeded at other businesses like this. I'm not going to succeed at this, so I won't try it. Okay, I hear this from people. Who would ever do this with me? right? Who would ever do this business with me? I'm not a strong leader. Or, what narrative are you telling yourself? Okay. So what do we do? Here is the exciting part. We take action and we prove those negative self-doubt thoughts wrong. We prove them wrong. Okay. And so we have to get into action. So often our thoughts, they create feelings, and those feelings then make us not get into action. Okay. And so we just get stopped in our tracks, and then we never move forward. Guys, we don't have to stay stuck. We don't have to stay stuck here. Okay. So what do we need to do? Number 1, we need to become aware of the thoughts that we're thinking. Stop yourself. If you're starting to think this thought and then you get so down and out, stop yourself and address the thought. Okay. Number 2, address the feelings that we are feeling. Okay. How do we address the feelings? We change the thought. Okay. Change the thought, then we change the action, right? We don't be inactive. That creates excitement, so we do get into action. And sometimes, guys, we have to get in action whether we feel like it or not. Okay? Whether we're fully convinced or not. Getting into action builds belief. Okay? It builds confidence. It builds excitement. So there's 3 different kinds of actions. There's action. People get into action. There's reaction. Or there's inaction. Reaction is not a solid way to run your business. It's not a solid way to parent. It's not a solid way to be relational in your relationship with your spouse. Okay? Action. Action. All right. That's what creates our results. Okay? Action. Inaction. Reaction. It creates results. Maybe not the results you want. Inaction yields no results. That's not very fun. Reaction, it yields results, but it creates frustration and overwhelm, right? So action, getting in and taking the right action. All right. So we have to address these things so that we can move forward. Bottom line. Okay. So here's the truth. When we're operating out of those negative headspaces, we are not attracting people to us. Right? It's reflective. It's repelling. We want to draw and attract people to what we have, because what we have is beautiful. It's pure. It's holistic. It's ethical. It's authentic. What we have is freedom. And when we're believing lies, we are holding back freedom from so many others. Okay? Number 2. Truth. We are not our most creative selves when we're operating out of a negative headspace. There's no creativity, there's no freedom, there's no excitement, there's no, I could do this, or if I did this, this would do this, right? There's no creative thinking when we are stuck in a negative headspace. Number 3. When we are operating out of those negative headspaces, we're not inspiring. When we're operating out of fear and frustration and overwhelm and anxiety, it's not inspiring, right? It's deterring. It's not attracting people, okay? But what if we change that? What is inspiring? Functioning out of a heart of love, out of service, out of joy and excitement and expectation. Right? Let's go into December with that expectation and that excitement. Let's go into 2023 with that expectation and that joy and that desire to love and serve others. Okay? So you got to identify the thoughts. You've got to work at changing them. And then you've got to show up healthy. Show up healthy. All right. So what I want to ask you all to do is take time to evaluate yourself, your personal business. And as you do this, this is going to help you coach your team and help them identify and evaluate themselves. Okay? Write down a score for the 4 pillars for you personally And then also for your team, keep a score. Okay, whether it's 1 to 10. 10, I am so strong, I have 100% retention. I am recruiting 3 to 6 people a month. I am duplicating a silver every month, a senior silver every month. Okay, give yourself a score. Identify your multiple limiting beliefs or thoughts. Write them on your paper. Okay, and then come talk to me so that we can work through this, okay? You're not alone in this, but we've got to identify them to know what's holding us back, okay? And then you have to decide, is this thought serving you? And what feelings are coming from that thought that you're thinking? Is it serving you? Is it attracting people to your business, to try your products, to jump into the business? Okay? Become aware, address it, and act. And choose the thoughts and the feelings that you feel. Okay? When we adjust what we're thinking, we're naturally going to attract the right people. We're going to be our most creative selves, and we are going to show up authentically with excitement and joy. That is the business that we want to grow, right? All right, so last thing I want to talk about, we're at 16 minutes here, so I'm going to cut it pretty quick, but I want to talk about hope. Hope is the belief that you can achieve anything you put your heart and mind to. Hope. Hope is having a ready heart to be thankful, even when you're corrected. Hope. A hopeful person doesn't think much of what others think about them, but rather assumes most people think good. Wow. A hopeful person has confidence that even if bad things happen, they can still overcome and have a good life. Hope. Hope is always planning and seeing what needs done to make things work. Hope. When a hopeful person realizes they made a bad mistake, they realize their error, they move forward, they do not let regret or sorrow train wreck them. We all make mistakes, right? But hope allows us to move forward. It doesn't allow us to stay stuck. Hopefulness helps a person to stay focused, work hard, and achieve their dreams. Hope gives a person grit. Okay? Guys, I truly, truly believe that as we stop and we analyze and we really hone in on what it is that is holding us back on both sides of the business, on the mindset and on the skill set, what happens is it girds and it strengthens and it forms a strong, stable business. And it's based off of hope. It's based off of belief. It's based off of excitement. It's based off of optimism. It's based off of a positive mindset. It's based off of who you think you are and what you are doing. It's based off of this company and how it's affecting so many lives. Hope is why we're here, and hope is why we're ending 2022 strong, and it is also why we're going into 2023 and we are going to grow strong, incredibly stable businesses that are going to change lives. So that's the end. Love you all. Let's rock December 2022.